So I'm on my last clinical rotation. I'm graduating soon. So can you talk about your clinical rotation experience? And then did you have any like CIs that you didn't like?
Oh yeah.
You know, you gotta be honest with me.
Oh yeah. I had some CIs that were like horrible. Horrible. You know, and then like they had like a lot of self-limiting beliefs about, and then they were projecting on me like their career.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And they're like, this is it. Like I've spent 20 years at this hospital, and like I'm making like $40 an hour.
Right.
Like this is what you need to become, my man.
Right.
And I'm like, nah.
Exactly.
Like I'm trying to be a rehab rock star.
Right.
Like you guys don't even understand on the level.
Right.
You know, and then like some of the CIs, like how them, it was just again, it's like they wanted me to operate a certain way in terms of treatment, and it was all protocol based stuff. And I was saying protocol is great, you know, but like, what about like they never wanted to like ideate beyond what was already there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this is how you treat a post-op hip. This is how you treat a post-op knee. And I'm just there like, no,
I can't
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And yeah, I forget her name, but there's definitely a CI that was like, oh my god, like I could not stand her.
Hopefully she's not watching this.
Yeah, she's definitely not watching this.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just it's because of self-limiting beliefs within our industry.
Right.
You know, and a lot of problems in our industry actually comes from us, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's why like it's really hard for me also sometimes because I'm pushing forward with what I'm doing. But it's really hard for me it actually breaks my heart sometimes to see like our own industry fighting with each other.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You have physios trying to kill each other.
No,
and you have like physios versus chiros.
Right.
And you have like it's just like this mess up situation, you know?
Right.
Huge mess. And then because they're not able to align themselves on what's going on here, I have to be like, you guys are that and I'm Maya.
Right.
I'm
exactly.
completely different.
Exactly.
Right? Yes, we're both physical therapists, but we ain't the same thing.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I looked at your website and you actually have chiropractors working.
Yes,
correct?
of course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. And you just mentioned that, so like everybody just kind of battling against each other, but then obviously you're like, you know what? PTs and chiros can work together, so
100%,
why not, right?
100%. Even to me, like I love and respect chiros. I love and respect PTs. I love and respect everybody.
Right, absolutely.
It comes down to this. It's like, can you do the job, yes or no?
That's it.
Right? And is the patient getting value out of it, and are they getting better?
Right.
I couldn't care less of what if you're black or white, chiro, physio, Asian. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's about patient care.
Right.
And it's all about results. It's like, are they getting where they need to go?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So bro, like if I like my mind is so open to the point where like if I met someone randomly on the street that says, yo, listen, like this is like a new chi healing situation with your son.
And it works?
And it works? Yo, I would try it at least once. At least I'd be like,
like, oh, did it work?
Yeah.
You gotta wing it, right?
Yeah. But I would try it because I'm
absolutely.
just like, oh, hey, this person really believes it to the point where they're coming up to me and saying, this is the way I do things.
Right.
Cool. Let me be the judge.
Yeah.
Right.
An open mind, right?
Totally. And at the end of the day, the market is going to decide.
Absolutely.
Right. What works for them or not.
Right.
Who are you to tell the patient that this? For example, I'll use myofascial work. Myofascial work doesn't work for them.
Right.
You say because there's no study that validates that. Well, there is, but anyways, but you know, I don't even want to go into that. But do you know what I mean? It's like physios. I don't even want to say physios, chiros. Medical professionals in our industry currently, it's like a few of them want to dictate what is patient care, but they don't really even ask the patient.
Right.
They want to base it on like what the studies say, and they go, hey, based on the studies, you should like this.
Right.
Have you ever asked them if they liked it?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And it doesn't really work that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it comes from a position of like, yo, like, I'm the smart guy, you're the lowly patient.
Right.
Eat what I tell you to eat.
Exactly.
Right? And if you try to come at them more like from a peer level,
right?
You know, it's like it'll actually be way better.
Exactly.
Right? And you will also be less frustrated because you're probably coming at them like this, and that's why you're not busy.
Right.
And that's why now you have time to be on Instagram being like,
kind of like being like a warrior.
Yeah. You're like, F these guys, F this, F that. Like, yo, like I don't have time to do that because I'm out here changing the world.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just weird to me. But.
I didn't think about it that way because obviously in school, like I know one of them was like they were saying that you can't really, and personally I'm still battling about this, like you can't, for example, you can't palpate the iliopsoas. I think that's one of them, and then because there's so many things, like so many structures on top of it, but then some PTs like, hey, you can actually do it. So then like it all depends on, I guess, hey, if the results is there, you know, why not, you know?
Sure, and I would argue that you could do it, and I can touch it on you, and you can have a discussion about that. But the whole point is, regardless if you can touch or not, okay? Let's even assume that situation.
Right.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Right? The whole point is if you say that you feel that you can touch it, and you say it to the patient, and the patient agrees with you, and then you make a plan based on whatever it is you think is wrong with the psoas, great. But and then does the patient get better? Can he run better? Can he not run better?
That's all that matters.
That's
right?
all that matters,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And who knows? Like maybe the reason why like some people, I'll use me as an example. The reason why people get so much better with me is because I'm just like a loving dude and I'm a caring dude. Maybe my hands don't even work.
Right.
But at the end of the day, a person comes in, they go from point A and I bring them to point B.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. And I'm able to do that on repeat, nonstop.
Right. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like we can argue about the specifics, but it's like,
is the patient getting better or not?
yeah, is my perspective, right?
Yeah,
but having said that, I'm not over here being like, yo, listen, like if you like, I don't go out and tell people, yo, if you can't palpate the psoas, you're a trash physio.
Right.
I don't say that.
Right.
Because
stay in your lane type of thing.
I stay in my lane. I do my thing. You do your thing.
Right.
Right. And if you can get the person better, great.
Yeah.
I don't care how you do it. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, obviously, we talk about that. We kind of battle back and forth.
Yeah.
In school, obviously, like in order to reach someone's level, obviously, we got to graduate. So, for us new grads, what is one thing that you would advise us that, like, hey, you know what? Maybe look into this and see if this works. If not, go ahead and do something else.
Yeah, I would. In terms of what? What do you mean? Like, what would you look into?
As far as
techniques,
like,
or you're
as far as it's like someone who's like, okay, you know what? Like, I graduated, and then let's say like I kind of don't know if I want to go outpatient or inpatient.
Oh,
like, I know some
got it.
people say that, don't open your own business right away.
Yeah.
That's like one thing that people say that. Like, what would you say if someone wants to open their own business like right away?
Okay, let's talk about specifics, right? But in terms of opening your own business right away, I definitely do not recommend you to do that because it's hard.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The business world is completely different.
Absolutely.
Like physio only teaches you. PT school only teaches you like a small component of like that whole situation.
Right.
They only teach you basically how to deal with pain.
Right.
And on top of that, they don't even necessarily teach you how to deal with pain on like multiple levels.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's just so much that's missing from PT school, in my opinion. Right. And then business, it's a whole other
Total realm.
skill.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like thinking that you can play guitar. That's it. But can you do a backflip?
Exactly.
It's like completely different.
Yeah.
It's actually completely different.
Right, exactly.
Right? Just because you can play guitar doesn't mean you can do a backflip. Right? So it's I don't know if that was a bad analogy or not, but
no, it makes sense.
Yeah. But that's literally it. People think it's the same thing. It's a completely different skill set.
Absolutely.
Right?
And then to me, like being a business owner, you have to have some sort of like entrepreneurial type of aspect. In episode 3, you actually mentioned that you said that to become a successful entrepreneur is to hang out with other successful entrepreneurs so you can learn and grow together. With that being said, let's talk about My Detox. Like, how did that idea come about?
Yeah, so in the process of like recording music in my studio at home with my boys and like treating patients on the side, I ended up working out of my living room.
Okay.
Like this small condo in Toronto, and then also in my condo gym.
Okay.
And I basically just started literally treating like 7 people a day to like all the way up to 14 people a day at some point at my peak. And I was just killing it. Right. Everyone just came to see me and was like, yo, I'm getting better. Yo, I'm getting better. Yo, I'm getting better. Okay, cool. And then it kind of just spread like that.
Right.
But I never really thought that I was that good.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was kind of just like, yo, isn't this what everybody should be doing? Right. Because I always kind of like stayed away from the industry itself.
Right.
Because I'm just gonna do my thing.
Right.
And in that process of everyone kept telling me for like literally for 2 years, they're like, nah, bro, you're different. You're different. I'm telling you, you should open your own spot. I'm like,
we'll see.
We'll see. Like, you know, I did that for literally like 2 years.
Okay.
And then in that period of time, like at some point I was like, yo, you know what? Like this music thing is a whole other situation with the music thing. I was like, yo, you know what? Like this is not what I want to do. I actually really enjoy this physio thing.
Right.
And I was like, okay, maybe I should open my own clinic.
Right.
And then I opened my first clinic, and then the whole My Detox situation happened. And then one of my business partners now, Scott, who's still my business partner, he basically came on board and was like, sorry, I was treating him, and he was like, bro, like, you need to open more than one location.
Oh, okay.
Right?
He's the one who suggested it.
Yeah, he was one of the first people to suggest that. And I always wanted to be more like a teacher, and then just have like 1 or 2 locations, and like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? But Scott's like, nah, fam. This is
you gotta venture out.
You gotta venture out. This is gonna be huge. Like if we create like a chain, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Like, if you think we can scale this, let's do it together.
Right.
And during that period of time, I think I had at the time I had 7,000 followers on Instagram.
Okay.
And he was so funny. He's like, "Dude, you famous.
There you
You
go.
have 7,000 followers.
Right.
This is gonna blow up."
Right.
Right. And I was like, "All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just do it." And obviously, he was a great business partner.
Right.
And in that, 7 years later, now we're at 13 clinics across 3 regions, and then we're doing an app, we're doing a lot of things that I'll show you guys after. But yeah, I'm just very excited. I really feel like we are kind of setting a new category overall.
Absolutely.
Of what it means to be like taking care of your body. Right. It's actually yes, it's done by physios, chiros, and whatever, but it's actually, in my opinion, something completely different.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then speaking of your 7,000 followers before.
Yeah.
I was looking at your Instagram a little bit.
Yeah.
You recognize this guy right here?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm actually a Charger fan, so when I saw this, I was like, I don't know if I can roll without one.
Yeah.
But then I also saw this on your YouTube channel, Luol Deng, right?
Yeah.
Tell me how did that come about? Obviously, you're in LA, you need some sort of connection, you can't just reach out hey, I'll work with you. How did that come about? Because I know a lot of PTs want to work with high level athletes.
Yes.
So with you, what's your experience? How does that actually work?
Just to be clear, I didn't work with Pat Mahomes. It's actually one of my boys' video. Bobby Stroop, my guy.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. But yeah, Luol Deng. I mean, I've worked with a lot of athletes actually. Javier Hernandez, Chicharito is one of my main guys right now.
Sure, yeah.
He's my boy. How do you get to working with athletes? Is what you're asking me?
Yeah. How do you actually set that up, or how did you?
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's I was lucky enough that because of Instagram, I was able to kind of essentially brand myself. Right. So any therapist that wants to kind of venture in that world, it's they need to understand that it's actually a whole other business too.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a whole other being a good therapist, being a good business owner, being a good confidant, athlete, entourage person is not three different skill sets, but it's different skills that is required.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to build yourself up.
Right.
In my opinion, let's say you want to work with a pro athlete, the first step is are you able to communicate well and treat, are you able to have a full caseload?
Right.
For example.
Right.
If you have a full caseload at your clinic, great. So now you know that you can communicate well across a variety of people.
Right.
Great. So then now the next step is hey, what other skills do I need to do? Hey, do I want to start a business, or do I want to work specifically with athletes?
Right.
If you want to work specifically with athletes, then it's a matter of you have to brand yourself as the guy in that sport. Right. So it's hey, I love baseball, I love basketball, whatever. So then you need to start either finding out how are these guys going to essentially find out about them, right? Many ways to do it. Either you're doing a social media situation or a website situation where you're promoting to the world, hey, I'm the basketball rehab god guy, right? Or you work the relationship circle where you go from the bottom and you go, who are all the basketball coaches in my area, right? It's hey, have you worked with the high school basketball guy first?
Right, exactly.
I think you should work with the high school basketball first guy before you work with the NBA. So it's kind of like that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And you work your way up.
Absolutely.
So you can either do it kind of the traditional route, which is working relationships within your city and then moving all the way up, or you can do it via social media where you just plaster the world with that tagline or whatever, and then people start being oh yeah, Arvin, that's the basketball rehab god. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's that dude. Right. And then eventually things will fall into place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the way you think about PT is that we pay so much money for it. It's a doctorate degree.
Yeah.
Sometimes master's before that. And I feel we should utilize that to its fullest. I feel we shouldn't be. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel we shouldn't be stuck with just being a PT, right? I always tell people hey, if you like cooking and you're a PT, try to find a way to combine both. I don't know.
Well, of course.
Something, right? Obviously, for people who want to work sports, combine that with both. Obviously, I think we should change the trajectory of PT because obviously you mentioned Instagram, social media. That's one way you can go ahead and reach out, or they can reach out to you or reach out to them, vice versa. And speaking of that, give me your top 3 athletes or celebrity that you ultimately want to work with in the future. Just 3.
Man, it's hard, man.